Welcome to All Ears English. Use your time to get better every day. 善用你的琐碎时间，每天进步一点点。英文加中文配音，你听到的每一句都将改变你的未来。
If I had known about the traffic, I would have left much earlier. If I had known about the traffic, I would have left much earlier.
如果我早知道会有交通堵塞，我会早很多离开。
If I had known about the traffic, I would have left much earlier. If I had known about the traffic, I would have left much earlier. It's crucial to weigh all the options before making a decision. It's crucial to weigh all the options before making a decision.
在做决定之前，衡量所有选择是至关重要的。
It's crucial to weigh all the options before making a decision. It's crucial to weigh all the options before making a decision. I wasn't expecting the meeting to last this long. I wasn't expecting the meeting to last this long.
我没想到会议会持续这么久。
I wasn't expecting the meeting to last this long. I wasn't expecting the meeting to last this long. I had trouble understanding the instructions, even after reading them twice. I had trouble understanding the instructions, even after reading them twice.
即使读了2遍，我还是很难理解那些指示。
I had trouble understanding the instructions, even after reading them twice. I had trouble understanding the instructions, even after reading them twice. Had it not been for your help, I wouldn't have finished the project on time. Had it not been for your help, I wouldn't have finished the project on time.
如果不是你的帮助，我不可能按时完成这个项目。
Had it not been for your help, I wouldn't have finished the project on time. Had it not been for your help, I wouldn't have finished the project on time. I wish I had taken that job offer when I had the chance. I wish I had taken that job offer when I had the chance.
我真希望当时有机会接受那份工作。
I wish I had taken that job offer when I had the chance. I wish I had taken that job offer when I had the chance. She's been working tirelessly to meet the deadline. She's been working tirelessly to meet the deadline.
她一直不懈地工作，为了赶上截止日期。
She's been working tirelessly to meet the deadline. She's been working tirelessly to meet the deadline. The situation is more complicated than it initially appeared. The situation is more complicated than it initially appeared.
这情况比一开始看起来更复杂。
The situation is more complicated than it initially appeared. The situation is more complicated than it initially appeared. If you could change one thing about your life, what would it be? If you could change one thing about your life, what would it be?
如果你能改变生活中的一件事，那会是什么？
If you could change one thing about your life, what would it be? If you could change one thing about your life, what would it be? I can't believe how quickly the year has flown by. I can't believe how quickly the year has flown by.
我真不敢相信这一年过得这么快。
I can't believe how quickly the year has flown by. I can't believe how quickly the year has flown by. I was under the impression that the event was happening next week. I was under the impression that the event was happening next week.
我一直以为活动是在下周举行。
I was under the impression that the event was happening next week. I was under the impression that the event was happening next week. It's not uncommon to feel overwhelmed in a new job. It's not uncommon to feel overwhelmed in a new job.
在新工作中感到不知所措并不罕见。
It's not uncommon to feel overwhelmed in a new job. It's not uncommon to feel overwhelmed in a new job. I would have called you earlier, but my phone died. I would have called you earlier, but my phone died.
我本来早点打电话给你，但我的手机没电了。
I would have called you earlier, but my phone died. I would have called you earlier, but my phone died. I couldn't agree more with what you said during the meeting. I couldn't agree more with what you said during the meeting.
我完全同意你在会议上说的话。
I couldn't agree more with what you said during the meeting. I couldn't agree more with what you said during the meeting. Despite the challenges, we managed to complete the project on time. Despite the challenges, we managed to complete the project on time.
尽管遇到挑战，我们还是按时完成了项目。
Despite the challenges, we managed to complete the project on time. Despite the challenges, we managed to complete the project on time. I didn't expect the weather to change so drastically. I didn't expect the weather to change so drastically.
我没想到天气会有这么大的变化。
I didn't expect the weather to change so drastically. I didn't expect the weather to change so drastically. I would appreciate it if you could get back to me as soon as possible. I would appreciate it if you could get back to me as soon as possible.
如果你能尽快回复我，我会非常感激。
I would appreciate it if you could get back to me as soon as possible. I would appreciate it if you could get back to me as soon as possible. If I had known it was going to rain, I would have brought an umbrella. If I had known it was going to rain, I would have brought an umbrella.
如果我早知道会下雨，我就会带伞。
If I had known it was going to rain, I would have brought an umbrella. If I had known it was going to rain, I would have brought an umbrella. It's important to consider the long-term consequences of your actions. It's important to consider the long-term consequences of your actions.
考虑你行为的长期后果是很重要的。
It's important to consider the long-term consequences of your actions. It's important to consider the long-term consequences of your actions. She managed to solve the problem after several attempts. She managed to solve the problem after several attempts.
经过几次尝试后，他成功解决了问题。
She managed to solve the problem after several attempts. She managed to solve the problem after several attempts. By the time I arrived, the meeting had already ended. By the time I arrived, the meeting had already ended.
等我到的时候，会议已经结束了。
By the time I arrived, the meeting had already ended. By the time I arrived, the meeting had already ended. I couldn't help but notice how well prepared you were for the presentation. I couldn't help but notice how well prepared you were for the presentation.
我忍不住注意到你为报告准备的多么充分。
I couldn't help but notice how well prepared you were for the presentation. I couldn't help but notice how well prepared you were for the presentation. Had I known about the sale, I would have bought the jacket yesterday. Had I known about the sale, I would have bought the jacket yesterday.
要是我知道有打折，我昨天就买了那件夹克。
Had I known about the sale, I would have bought the jacket yesterday. Had I known about the sale, I would have bought the jacket yesterday. She was so exhausted that she could barely keep her eyes open. She was so exhausted that she could barely keep her eyes open.
她累得几乎睁不开眼睛。
She was so exhausted that she could barely keep her eyes open. She was so exhausted that she could barely keep her eyes open. If you're ever in the area, feel free to drop by. If you're ever in the area, feel free to drop by.
如果你有机会到这附近，随时欢迎来拜访。
If you're ever in the area, feel free to drop by. If you're ever in the area, feel free to drop by. It's difficult to predict how things will play out in the long run. It's difficult to predict how things will play out in the long run.
很难预测长远来看事情会怎么发展。
It's difficult to predict how things will play out in the long run. It's difficult to predict how things will play out in the long run. I didn't expect her to react so strongly to the news. I didn't expect her to react so strongly to the news.
我没想到她对这个消息反应会这么强烈。
I didn't expect her to react so strongly to the news. I didn't expect her to react so strongly to the news. If you hadn't reminded me, I would have completely forgotten about the appointment. If you hadn't reminded me, I would have completely forgotten about the appointment.
如果不是你提醒我，我就完全忘了那个约会。
If you hadn't reminded me, I would have completely forgotten about the appointment. If you hadn't reminded me, I would have completely forgotten about the appointment. The more I think about it, the less sense it makes. The more I think about it, the less sense it makes.
我越想越觉得这不合理。
The more I think about it, the less sense it makes. The more I think about it, the less sense it makes. It would have been helpful if you had told me this earlier. It would have been helpful if you had told me this earlier.
如果你早点告诉我，这会更有帮助。
It would have been helpful if you had told me this earlier. It would have been helpful if you had told me this earlier. I'm starting to feel like I might be coming down with a cold. I'm starting to feel like I might be coming down with a cold.
我开始觉得自己可能要感冒了。
I'm starting to feel like I might be coming down with a cold. I'm starting to feel like I might be coming down with a cold. Had I known the traffic was this bad, I would have taken a different route. Had I known the traffic was this bad, I would have taken a different route.
要是我知道交通这么糟，我就会走另一条路。
Had I known the traffic was this bad, I would have taken a different route. Had I known the traffic was this bad, I would have taken a different route. It's hard to believe that we've been working on this project for over a year. It's hard to believe that we've been working on this project for over a year.
真难以相信，我们已经做这个项目1年多了。
It's hard to believe that we've been working on this project for over a year. It's hard to believe that we've been working on this project for over a year. I wish I had spent more time preparing for the exam. I wish I had spent more time preparing for the exam.
我真希望我花更多时间准备考试。
I wish I had spent more time preparing for the exam. I wish I had spent more time preparing for the exam. Despite all the setbacks, she remained optimistic about the outcome. Despite all the setbacks, she remained optimistic about the outcome.
尽管遭遇了很多挫折，她对结果仍然保持乐观。
Despite all the setbacks, she remained optimistic about the outcome. Despite all the setbacks, she remained optimistic about the outcome. It's not as easy as it looks to balance work and personal life. It's not as easy as it looks to balance work and personal life.
平衡工作和生活并不像看起来那么容易。
It's not as easy as it looks to balance work and personal life. It's not as easy as it looks to balance work and personal life. I'll get back to you once I have all the necessary information. I'll get back to you once I have all the necessary information.
等我拿到所有必要的资讯后，会回复你。
I'll get back to you once I have all the necessary information. I'll get back to you once I have all the necessary information. I can't help but wonder what would have happened if I had taken that job. I can't help but wonder what would have happened if I had taken that job.
我忍不住想，如果我接受了那份工作，会发生什么？
I can't help but wonder what would have happened if I had taken that job. I can't help but wonder what would have happened if I had taken that job. The project was more complicated than we initially thought. The project was more complicated than we initially thought.
这个项目比我们最初想象的更复杂。
The project was more complicated than we initially thought. The project was more complicated than we initially thought. If I were in your shoes, I would probably do the same thing. If I were in your shoes, I would probably do the same thing.
如果我是你的话，我可能也会这么做。
If I were in your shoes, I would probably do the same thing. If I were in your shoes, I would probably do the same thing. You should have seen the look on his face when he heard the news. You should have seen the look on his face when he heard the news.
当他听到这个消息时，你应该看看他的表情。
You should have seen the look on his face when he heard the news. You should have seen the look on his face when he heard the news. The restaurant was fully booked, so we had to make a reservation for a later time. The restaurant was fully booked, so we had to make a reservation for a later time.
餐厅已经满座了，所以我们不得不预定晚一点的时间。
The restaurant was fully booked, so we had to make a reservation for a later time. The restaurant was fully booked, so we had to make a reservation for a later time. Had it not been for the weather, we would have gone hiking yesterday. Had it not been for the weather, we would have gone hiking yesterday.
如果不是因为天气，我们昨天就去爬山了。
Had it not been for the weather, we would have gone hiking yesterday. Had it not been for the weather, we would have gone hiking yesterday. I've been meaning to call you, but I've been swamped with work. I've been meaning to call you, but I've been swamped with work.
我一直想打电话给你，但我工作忙得不可开交。
I've been meaning to call you, but I've been swamped with work. I've been meaning to call you, but I've been swamped with work. It's not unusual for people to feel nervous before a big presentation. It's not unusual for people to feel nervous before a big presentation.
在大报告之前感到紧张是很常见的。
It's not unusual for people to feel nervous before a big presentation. It's not unusual for people to feel nervous before a big presentation. If I were you, I would reconsider that decision. If I were you, I would reconsider that decision.
如果我是你，我会重新考虑那个决定。
If I were you, I would reconsider that decision. If I were you, I would reconsider that decision. She was so surprised that she couldn't find the words to respond. She was so surprised that she couldn't find the words to respond.
她惊讶地 无法找到词汇来回应。
She was so surprised that she couldn't find the words to respond. She was so surprised that she couldn't find the words to respond. I'm having trouble understanding how this system works. I'm having trouble understanding how this system works.
我很难理解这个系统是怎么运作的。
I'm having trouble understanding how this system works. I'm having trouble understanding how this system works. The more effort you put into it, the better the results will be. The more effort you put into it, the better the results will be.
你投入的精力越多，结果就会越好。
The more effort you put into it, the better the results will be. The more effort you put into it, the better the results will be. I should have checked the weather forecast before leaving the house. I should have checked the weather forecast before leaving the house.
我应该在出门前查看天气预报。
I should have checked the weather forecast before leaving the house. I should have checked the weather forecast before leaving the house. I couldn't help but laugh when I saw the expression on his face. I couldn't help but laugh when I saw the expression on his face.
当我看到他脸上的表情时，忍不住笑了。
I couldn't help but laugh when I saw the expression on his face. I couldn't help but laugh when I saw the expression on his face. If I had to do it all over again, I would definitely do things differently. If I had to do it all over again, I would definitely do things differently.
如果让我重新再来一次，我一定会做的不一样。
If I had to do it all over again, I would definitely do things differently. If I had to do it all over again, I would definitely do things differently. The presentation went better than I had expected. The presentation went better than I had expected.
报告进行的比我预期的好。
The presentation went better than I had expected. The presentation went better than I had expected. I was under a lot of pressure to finish the project on time. I was under a lot of pressure to finish the project on time.
我承受了很大的压力，要按时完成这个项目。
I was under a lot of pressure to finish the project on time. I was under a lot of pressure to finish the project on time. Had I been more careful, I wouldn't have made that mistake. Had I been more careful, I wouldn't have made that mistake.
如果我更小心点，我就不会犯那个错误。
Had I been more careful, I wouldn't have made that mistake. Had I been more careful, I wouldn't have made that mistake. I wish I had known about the event sooner. I wish I had known about the event sooner.
我真希望我能更早知道这个活动。
I wish I had known about the event sooner. I wish I had known about the event sooner. The more I study the topic, the more fascinating it becomes. The more I study the topic, the more fascinating it becomes.
我研究这个主题越多，就越觉得它迷人。
The more I study the topic, the more fascinating it becomes. The more I study the topic, the more fascinating it becomes. If you had informed me earlier, I could have made other arrangements. If you had informed me earlier, I could have made other arrangements.
如果你早点告诉我，我本可以做其他安排。
If you had informed me earlier, I could have made other arrangements. If you had informed me earlier, I could have made other arrangements. I can't believe how much progress you've made in such a short time. I can't believe how much progress you've made in such a short time.
我真不敢相信你在这么短的时间内 取得了这么大的进步。
I can't believe how much progress you've made in such a short time. I can't believe how much progress you've made in such a short time. It would have been better if we had planned this out more carefully. It would have been better if we had planned this out more carefully.
如果我们事先计划得更仔细些，会更好。
It would have been better if we had planned this out more carefully. It would have been better if we had planned this out more carefully. By the time we realized the mistake, it was too late to fix it. By the time we realized the mistake, it was too late to fix it.
当我们意识到错误时，已经太迟，无法修正。
By the time we realized the mistake, it was too late to fix it. By the time we realized the mistake, it was too late to fix it. Had I been aware of the risks, I would have taken more precautions. Had I been aware of the risks, I would have taken more precautions.
如果我早知道有这些风险，我会更谨慎。
Had I been aware of the risks, I would have taken more precautions. Had I been aware of the risks, I would have taken more precautions. It's not every day that you get an opportunity like this. It's not every day that you get an opportunity like this.
这样的机会并不是每天都有。
It's not every day that you get an opportunity like this. It's not every day that you get an opportunity like this. I can't help but feel that we've overlooked something important. I can't help but feel that we've overlooked something important.
我忍不住觉得我们忽略了某些重要的事情。
I can't help but feel that we've overlooked something important. I can't help but feel that we've overlooked something important. It's becoming increasingly difficult to keep up with the workload. It's becoming increasingly difficult to keep up with the workload.
要跟上工作量变得越来越困难。
It's becoming increasingly difficult to keep up with the workload. It's becoming increasingly difficult to keep up with the workload. If only I had more time to prepare for the presentation. If only I had more time to prepare for the presentation.
如果我有更多时间准备这次报告就好了。
If only I had more time to prepare for the presentation. If only I had more time to prepare for the presentation. I was hesitant at first, but now I'm glad I took the plunge. I was hesitant at first, but now I'm glad I took the plunge.
我一开始犹豫不决，但现在我很高兴我决定冒险一试。
I was hesitant at first, but now I'm glad I took the plunge. I was hesitant at first, but now I'm glad I took the plunge. She had been waiting for this opportunity for years. She had been waiting for this opportunity for years.
她已经等待这个机会很多年了。
She had been waiting for this opportunity for years. She had been waiting for this opportunity for years. If I had known how much work it would be, I might not have volunteered. If I had known how much work it would be, I might not have volunteered.
如果我知道这会有多辛苦，我可能不会自愿参加。
If I had known how much work it would be, I might not have volunteered. If I had known how much work it would be, I might not have volunteered. It's surprising how much technology has changed in just a few years. It's surprising how much technology has changed in just a few years.
真令人惊讶，科技在短短几年内有这么大的变化。
It's surprising how much technology has changed in just a few years. It's surprising how much technology has changed in just a few years. I wish I could have attended the meeting, but I had a prior commitment. I wish I could have attended the meeting, but I had a prior commitment.
我真希望我能参加会议，但我之前已经有其他安排。
I wish I could have attended the meeting, but I had a prior commitment. I wish I could have attended the meeting, but I had a prior commitment. Despite the difficulties, she managed to complete the project on time. Despite the difficulties, she managed to complete the project on time.
尽管困难重重，她还是按时完成了这个项目。
Despite the difficulties, she managed to complete the project on time. Despite the difficulties, she managed to complete the project on time. If I had more experience, I would have handled the situation differently. If I had more experience, I would have handled the situation differently.
如果我有更多经验，我会以不同的方式处理这种情况。
If I had more experience, I would have handled the situation differently. If I had more experience, I would have handled the situation differently. The more I practice, the more confident I feel about my skills. The more I practice, the more confident I feel about my skills.
我练习的越多，我对自己的技能就越有信心。
The more I practice, the more confident I feel about my skills. The more I practice, the more confident I feel about my skills. I never would have guessed that it would turn out this way. I never would have guessed that it would turn out this way.
我从来没想到事情会是这样发展的。
I never would have guessed that it would turn out this way. I never would have guessed that it would turn out this way. The instructions were so confusing that I had to read them multiple times. The instructions were so confusing that I had to read them multiple times.
只是太令人困惑，我不得不多读几遍。
The instructions were so confusing that I had to read them multiple times. The instructions were so confusing that I had to read them multiple times. Had I realized the implications earlier, I would have made a different decision. Had I realized the implications earlier, I would have made a different decision.
如果我早点了解后果，我会做出不同的决定。
Had I realized the implications earlier, I would have made a different decision. Had I realized the implications earlier, I would have made a different decision. It's hard to believe that we've known each other for over a decade. It's hard to believe that we've known each other for over a decade.
真难相信，我们已经认识超过10年了。
It's hard to believe that we've known each other for over a decade. It's hard to believe that we've known each other for over a decade. The results of the experiment were not what we had anticipated. The results of the experiment were not what we had anticipated.
实验的结果并非我们所预期的。
The results of the experiment were not what we had anticipated. The results of the experiment were not what we had anticipated. If only I had trusted my instincts from the beginning. If only I had trusted my instincts from the beginning.
要是我从一开始就相信自己的直觉就好了。
If only I had trusted my instincts from the beginning. If only I had trusted my instincts from the beginning. The discussion was more productive than I had expected. The discussion was more productive than I had expected.
这次讨论比我预期的更富有成效。
The discussion was more productive than I had expected. The discussion was more productive than I had expected. I should have taken your advice more seriously. I should have taken your advice more seriously.
我应该更认真听取你的建议。
I should have taken your advice more seriously. I should have taken your advice more seriously. It's not easy to find the balance between work and personal life. It's not easy to find the balance between work and personal life.
找到工作和生活的平衡并不容易。
It's not easy to find the balance between work and personal life. It's not easy to find the balance between work and personal life. Had it not been for his support, I might have given up. Had it not been for his support, I might have given up.
如果不是他的支持，我可能早就放弃了。
Had it not been for his support, I might have given up. Had it not been for his support, I might have given up. I didn't realize how much time had passed until I looked at the clock. I didn't realize how much time had passed until I looked at the clock.
直到我看了看钟，才意识到时间过得多快。
I didn't realize how much time had passed until I looked at the clock. I didn't realize how much time had passed until I looked at the clock. If I could go back and do things differently, I definitely would. If I could go back and do things differently, I definitely would.
如果我能回到过去重新来过，我肯定会这么做。
If I could go back and do things differently, I definitely would. If I could go back and do things differently, I definitely would. It's important to keep an open mind when considering new ideas. It's important to keep an open mind when considering new ideas.
在考虑新想法时，保持开放的心态是很重要的。
It's important to keep an open mind when considering new ideas. It's important to keep an open mind when considering new ideas. I wish I had known about the issue earlier. We could have fixed it sooner. I wish I had known about the issue earlier. We could have fixed it sooner.
我真希望早点知道这个问题，这样我们可以更早解决。
I wish I had known about the issue earlier. We could have fixed it sooner. I wish I had known about the issue earlier. We could have fixed it sooner. I didn't expect the project to require so much time and effort. I didn't expect the project to require so much time and effort.
我没想到这个项目会需要这么多时间和精力。
I didn't expect the project to require so much time and effort. I didn't expect the project to require so much time and effort. I'm having a hard time keeping up with all the changes. I'm having a hard time keeping up with all the changes.
我很难跟上所有这些变化。
I'm having a hard time keeping up with all the changes. I'm having a hard time keeping up with all the changes. If I had known it would be this difficult, I might have reconsidered. If I had known it would be this difficult, I might have reconsidered.
如果我早知道这么困难，我可能会重新考虑。
If I had known it would be this difficult, I might have reconsidered. If I had known it would be this difficult, I might have reconsidered. I had been hoping for a different outcome, but this is still good news. I had been hoping for a different outcome, but this is still good news.
我本来期待有不同的结果，但这仍然是个好消息。
I had been hoping for a different outcome, but this is still good news. I had been hoping for a different outcome, but this is still good news. It's essential to address the root cause of the problem, not just the symptoms. It's essential to address the root cause of the problem, not just the symptoms.
解决问题的根本原因，而不仅仅是症状，是至关重要的。
It's essential to address the root cause of the problem, not just the symptoms. It's essential to address the root cause of the problem, not just the symptoms. I've been struggling to find a solution, but I'm determined to figure it out. I've been struggling to find a solution, but I'm determined to figure it out.
我一直在努力找出解决方案，但我决心要搞清楚。
I've been struggling to find a solution, but I'm determined to figure it out. I've been struggling to find a solution, but I'm determined to figure it out. The presentation would have gone smoother if we had rehearsed more. The presentation would have gone smoother if we had rehearsed more.
如果我们多排练几次，这次报告会进行得更顺利。
The presentation would have gone smoother if we had rehearsed more. The presentation would have gone smoother if we had rehearsed more. Had I known it would rain, I would have brought a raincoat. Had I known it would rain, I would have brought a raincoat.
如果我知道会下雨，我就会带雨衣了。
Had I known it would rain, I would have brought a raincoat. Had I known it would rain, I would have brought a raincoat. I didn't expect to be asked so many difficult questions during the interview. I didn't expect to be asked so many difficult questions during the interview.
我没想到在面试中会被问到这么多困难的问题。
I didn't expect to be asked so many difficult questions during the interview. I didn't expect to be asked so many difficult questions during the interview. If I had known about the sale, I would have bought more. If I had known about the sale, I would have bought more.
如果我知道有促销，我会买更多。
If I had known about the sale, I would have bought more. If I had known about the sale, I would have bought more. It's hard to imagine how much effort went into organizing the event. It's hard to imagine how much effort went into organizing the event.
很难想象为了筹办这次活动付出了多少努力。
It's hard to imagine how much effort went into organizing the event. It's hard to imagine how much effort went into organizing the event. If I had listened to your advice, things might have turned out differently. If I had listened to your advice, things might have turned out differently.
如果我听从了你的建议，事情可能会有不同的结果。
If I had listened to your advice, things might have turned out differently. If I had listened to your advice, things might have turned out differently.
今天的学习辛苦了。如果你觉得我们的分享有帮助，可以订阅我们的频道，点赞并且分享给你身边的朋友。如果有任何想和我们说的，也请在留言区留下你的宝贵建议，让我们做出更符合你预期的影片。感谢你的支持，我们下次再见。